and record it on my computer. Okay. What's so cool about what you just said is I've talked to a fixed ops director over 13 stores, and we're trying to generate a math formula on how many open ROs is acceptable, how many is good, what's excellent, what's poor. You've been doing it a few weeks. How many do you have this morning?
I think I currently have 11 or 12 maybe total, which ain't bad considering some of the other advisors have like a ton. But unfortunately, theirs are open because of parts not being available and being warranty, so we can't close them out. So it's kind of one of those things where unfortunately they have to have them still open, just waiting on parts that are unfortunately on back order. Yeah,
there's a ton of things that go into that, the reasons, the whys, filtering through the reasons, filtering through the excuses, and trying to find solutions. It's tough, man. It seems like my Ford stores are really struggling on open ROs. So I wouldn't know why Ford parts are any more scarce than Audi. In fact, I wouldn't think they are, but man, I've had some Ford stores that are just struggling, dude. So I'll take that 11 number any day.
Yeah,
I know that number is going to grow as you get older as an advisor.
Oh yeah,
I would take 11 any day, dog. 11 is like that. 11 kicks butt. That's major awesome. What else? What differences do you have? Any that you see? Any that you feel?
Obviously, deal with a lot more warranty work and everything else with extended warranties or third-party warranties, which obviously we don't really dealt with a whole lot over on the quick lane side when I was over there.
Yes, sir.
So just trying to make sure everything is and writing things up, making sure everything when you write up a ticket that it's under warranty, so you get it right the first time instead of having to have it get signed off from our service manager. So I've had a few that we've had to redo, but so far it hasn't been too bad. And just looking at the Oasis a lot more on those recalls and warranty stuff, items like that. So as I said, quick lane, we hardly ever dealt with any of that. So
all right, I got a question for you that normally hurts. It hurts right here. So let's see. Hopefully you don't hurt my feelings. So car comes in on your quick lane with 52,000 miles on it. How likely were you to get recommendations for like a brake fluid exchange or a diff service?
Obviously we actually look in the history to see if it's been done before we recommend.
Let's say we got no history on it.
No
and
history?
It comes in for an oil change or a 5K or a works or whatever your store calls it. How likely were you to get recommendations for maintenance from quick lane?
I'd say probably 20-25%.
Okay.
Of the people I get.
Yep. Now at main shop, if someone comes in with 52,000 miles, same truck, no history, and they're coming in for a check engine light, how likely are you to get it was a O2 sensor and this is what it costs to replace, and then recommendations for like a diff service?
I haven't had any success on that yet.
Yeah.
So
one of the things that I share with my quick lane guys that move to main shop, and again, it's congratulations. Obviously you're gonna make more money. It's a career now for you, certainly. So congratulations. Do not lose sight that just because someone's O2 sensor was out does not mean that they couldn't benefit from doing a diff service or an AC service and looking beyond the repair.
Yeah.
I see there's a lady that lives about 7 minutes from me that someone else is logging in. She lives real close to me and works real close at she used to work at a quick lane at the dealership. She moved to main shop. She used to sell 70 mock services a month, and now she's down to about 10 because she just doesn't offer them because they're never on the ticket. So it's a problem. Don't lose sight of that. All right, we had somebody on iPad 3 log in. iPad 3, who are you? Introduce yourself. iPad 3 just logged in. Let me know who you are, if you can.
It's me, Mitch.
Oh, okay, cool. How's it going? So I know him too. All right, Look, we might be flying solo today, Tim. Let's get started. If someone else comes in, we'll just catch them back up. That cool?
Yep, no worries.
All right. So this class, success cycle. What success cycle is for me is a theory of sales that I created now about 12, 13 years ago. The origins of this speech that I'm going to give you in my words, I created when my daughter was in 5th grade. She asked me to be in career day, and I travel a lot, so I was unable to attend. But what I gave her the idea, and she was not happy as a 10-year-old girl. But what I said to her, I was like, let's practice the weekend before before career day on a speech on how to sell a brake fluid exchange. And during career day that week, she brought up the principal onto the stage and sold them a brake fluid exchange using this word track. And it was cute. And I just used it to sell mock stuff. And that's who I am. I'm Mitch from Mock. I'm the corporate sales trainer for Mock. But today's class isn't really about Mock at all. What I did was one evening when I was going through my words, I said, well, man, is this a way to sell a front end alignment or a brake job or spark plug replacement? And what was weird is spark plugs, I don't know why it came to my mind so quickly, but it did. And I started using one script or one word track or one vibe. It really is how you kind of want to dance with it for a long time. Just recently, what I've found the best thing in this class to do is for me to go through my speech with you. And again, Frank is listening, and Tom Golden, our other corporate trainer, is on as well with you, Tim. So if y'all have anything to say during this, just jump, unmute yourself and jump in. But what I thought, Tim, is I could share with you my speech, go through what words I think are important, and then get you to rewrite your speech in your words. And then you could give it back to me on a few items that you've already seen. And we're going to cheat a little bit. We're also going to try to sell some maintenance. Okay. I'm going to get you to sell me a brake job. I'm going to get you to sell me some front end stuff. But I want to piggyback some other sales, or I want to offer some maintenances. So what I'm hoping is by 11 o'clock Mountain Time, or I guess you're in Central Time Zone, so 12 o'clock your time, that we'll have a speech that you can use to sell anything that you sell. Cool?
Sounds good.
All right. So first, and Tom is big on this. We have a different class that he begins with a speech. Anytime you're a main shop guy, we always want to cover the cause for concern first. Okay. Now there's a couple of schools of thought of rolling all of the total of what they came in for with any piggyback sales or maintenance, or the reason that they came in for first and get them closed on that, and then speak about the rest. But it's all during the speech. So first, customer comes in for check engine light. It gets an O2 sensor. Just for an O2 sensor, what ballpark, what's that cost at your dealership? What's the investment?
I don't think I've had one of those yet.
How about
I don't
fuel
think
injectors?
it's that expensive. I think it's pretty cheap. I think the part might be $50 maybe.
Sweet. We'll say it's an hour of labor, so it's going to be like $1.99. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the first thing that I want to share with you on main shop that's super important before we get into the speech is piggyback sales. Have you ever heard that term?
Yeah.
Okay. So what would you piggyback sell with an O2 sensor?
Fuel flush.
There you go. A decarb service, fuel injector service, maybe. Are you familiar with what fuel product you have on the shelf?
I do not.
All right. I'm going to get you, Tim needs fuel info. It'd be cool to know exactly which one you use. Do you know the difference in a decarb service and a fuel injector service?
I do not actually.
Okay. So before we move on to speech, we might as well get a couple of basics. And it's just you and I, so we can dive a little deeper. If there were 6 of us, I couldn't take the time to do this. So A decarb service, well, first, a fuel injector service is the easiest one. Fuel injector services are hooked up to the fuel rail, and we disable the fuel pump, and the vehicle actually runs on a 100% concentration of chemical, and it cleans the injectors and the fuel rail like a whistle. There can be items and little carbon deposits inside those injectors that are causing it to shoot unevenly throughout the combustion chamber. Once you do this service, you're going to get a really good spray. It definitely helps with fuel efficiency. But normally with high pressure fuel pumps now, fuel efficiency due to fuel injector clogs are a lot less prevalent. So a decarb service or an intake service either goes through a vacuum line to clean valves or through the throttle body itself. And what that does is all of the carbon that gets built up, especially with the new direct inject engines, it cleans that side of the injectors are on one side, the valves are on the other, and it cleans the other side of the engine. So anytime you can do a decarb service, you're going to get much more value than just doing an injector service, because it cleans a few more parts of the engine than just the injector. So anytime you have drivability concerns or replacements of O2 sensors or injectors, I would say that piggybacking a decarb service would really help you. What I'm going to do with these notes is I'm going to get it to your mock guy and make sure that he comes by and visits with you to just speak to you about the specific product that you have in your store, so you have a greater understanding of it.
Okay.
Cool.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So when you do this O2 sensor for $1.99, I would also like you to share with me that it's a good idea to do this decarb service to make sure that this doesn't happen again. Okay. And I'll share with you a couple of ways that I do decarb services. So what's your method of multi-point inspection? Is it paper? Is it video? What do you do?
They do quick lane, mostly quick lane does a video. We'll do a video inspection. Our mainline guys don't do a whole lot of the video inspections. Usually our shop foreman will go around and do it for them. And then they do they fill out the multi-point inspection on the computer. So it's not on paper.
So video at mainline is electronic. All right. Always just kind of like to know that. So they're a little different speech.
Yeah.
So my greeting to a customer, you know, hey, this is Mitch over at Dewey Ford. We got the results of the multi-point inspection or the diagnosis of your cause for concern, and I want to go over things with you. Just a very basic greeting, but I do like to share with them that the reason that they came in, we're ready to proceed. Okay. So I just essentially share with them the parts that are broken. So in your case, it was a bad O2 sensor. We have these in stock. We can get it replaced for $199. Not just sit there and be quiet. If they say no or have an objection or talk about it, I'll speak about it. But normally at Main Shop, if we're speaking to people about things that are broken on their vehicle, we're talking normally they're going to do that segment of it. Do you feel that that's accurate?
Yeah.
So once I get that yes, what I want to do is say, okay, cool. Now, while my certified technician was doing those diagnoses, I have some other items that I'd like to share with you. Cool. That's like my segue. So let me share my screen with you. All right. Can you see it okay?
Yep.
All right. So our certified technician, Brian, has completed the multi-point inspection that you requested. And on this one, it talks about notification of a video, but I'm going to go back, since you're the only one here in your main line, has diagnosed the cause of your concern. If you have a minute, I'd like to share the details with you. So Tom, again, if you want to chime in with yours, you're more than welcome to do it. So essentially, I'm calling the customer and sharing with them my certified technician. I also call them by name. has found the cause for the concern. Do you have a few moments to go over it? I do like throwing in, do you have a few moments? Especially if we're going to go over more items, I want to make sure that they can discuss it with me. Other things that you can say if you're comfortable. If you like shooting them an email with the digital copy of the multi-point or the estimate, you can do that. That's something cool. If you can text it to them, if you have PDFs or you text or their way that their preferred method of contact before they left, you know, you can do it that way. What's your feel? Do you like emailing stuff to people so they can look at it? Do you just want to do it auditory, which is fine? Like, what's your preference?
Depends on busy. I like to do tech. We have our texture drive. That works out really handy.
Oh, cool. All right. Well, hey, let's do text drive. I'm big in that. It definitely sucks if your mainline people are not doing video multi-point inspections. If you do have text drive, I got beat up in Austin on Monday about it. I have a group. I have a big store. It's massive. It's got like 17 service advisors, and they send thousands of texts, but nobody does a video. And I'm like, dude, you're only getting half the benefit. Okay, talk to me about text to drive then. So you can send the estimate and everything to text to drive. You can also get the authorization right there on their phone. Do y'all do that?
Yeah. I'll usually send a text drive because it's easier, because sometimes I'll call, they won't answer because they're at work or they're busy or in a meeting. So I find the text drive to be very handy. Say, hey, this is what we found wrong. This is, you know, what we need.
Okay. Whoa. We found the cause of concern. I don't like saying wrong. I don't like saying problem. I don't like saying issue. Those are negative connotations. That's in a different class that I speak about that stuff. But don't use those words.
Okay.
It's, we found the cause for your concern. We found the reason that your check engine light was coming on. Okay. Always try to be as positive and use positive language with the customer. Well, let's do this. Let's talk about what you send them on text to drive. So do you have like, are you just sending, hey, here's your estimate? Like, what's your text?
I'll usually break it down. I'll be like, hey, here's the cause of concern. This is what needs to be to rectify it or to solve it. Here's, you know, the parts that we need for it. Here's the labor. Here's out your door with tax, shop supplies, what you'd be looking at, and everything. Do we have the okay to move forward or to, you know, authorization to repair this concern?
A really good way to end that text is, all I need your authorization. And that's going to come up in a minute as well. So I like all that. That's good stuff. Make sure, are you sharing with customers before they leave that they're going to have the capability of okaying the estimate on their phone?
Usually I'll try calling them or I'll text them. Usually I'll say, well, after they drop off their vehicle.
All right. What do you think about, before they leave, giving them a speech like this? One of my certified technicians is going to diagnose your concern. When they do, I'm going to send you an estimate via text, and you will feel free to just approve those numbers when you get them. Approve the work, approve. I don't even really like saying work, because work is rather negative as well. So I like saying the figures, the numbers. You can okay that on your phone, and that will allow us to get started quickly.
Yeah.
I like adding that because I really want them to just say yes on the phone, or, you know, using their, that's cool. Because then the technicians know it, parts knows it, everybody knows it. You know, just if you're busy, you know, diagnosing something or gone on a test drive, doing that text, that's a big deal, and sharing with people that they can say yes in that format. Well, cool. Well, then this changes this next speech. So you should be doing all of your closing via text, correct?
Yes. And once the ticket gets done, I'll text them and say, hey, vehicle's done, paperwork and keys.
Okay, well, and that's where I want to stop. Okay, so now watch. Let me go back to my share screen. This is fun. I like this one. All right. Mr. Smith, I am giving you a call back because while Brian diagnosed while Brian was diagnosing your concern, he also completed a multi-point inspection. All right. Here's the problem here's a concern that I have with what you're doing. I think you're probably doing a whale of a job going over why a customer came in, but we're not going that extra step to say these other items could be done today. And I don't want to confuse the two and kick butt on text to drive and try to get your main guys just a little bit to shoot some videos. Man, videos go a long way and can help your closing, but that's a different class. I don't want to preach to you about video multi-point inspections, especially when you don't do them. But I get fired up on videos, but try to get them to show people just a little bit on video, but that's okay. Do all of your main shop stuff using text to drive. I don't want to change a bit of that, but let it get started and then go with the rest of the multi-point inspection. Let me talk to you about my mindset here. Okay, I don't want to sell a bunch of maintenance until I know the cause for concern is handled. And sometimes when we get something authorized, the technician will begin and then find other concerns. And then we got to go back and reclose people on the reason that they came. So I want to let the job begin. And if you have a ballpark in your mind of when it's going to be completed, about a third of the way through, that's when you can call the customer back and go over maintenance items. I never want to call the customer and share with them that the vehicle is done, because the likelihood that they tack on any more time is going to be really difficult. So let me just go over what I mean. So a customer comes in today with a check engine light. It's diagnosed as an O2 sensor. It's going to take the guy an hour, which is what we just figured. In about 20 minutes, I'm going to give him 20 minutes to begin and find anything else that could have been the cause for concern. And then I'm going to call the customer back with the rest of the multi-point inspection. So Tim, phone rings, you're my customer, you answer it. I say, hey, this is Mitch over at Dewey Ford. I have a couple other things that I want to cover with you. While Brian, your certified technician, was diagnosing your vehicle and he's currently working on that O2 sensor, he completed a thorough multi-point inspection, and I wanted to go over the highlights with you. Okay. And that's how I segue into other stuff. How would you like to segue?
Yeah, no, that sounds really, I'd just say, Amos Smith, our tech, is working on that.
Not our tech. Not our tech. I'm not going to let you say that. It's not just a tech. What kind of tech is it? That's right. While my certified technician, I'm going to write your speech down. Okay. I'm giving you a call. Is that how you like to say it? How do you like to say that?
Thanks for taking my call.
All right. Thanks for
do you have a few minutes to go over some diagnosis that my certified technician found?
Hey, Mitch.
Yes. Go ahead, Tom.
First off, just so you know, this dude is the master, Tim. This guy knows what he's talking about. One thing that I like to do is I like to reference it back to the write-up. So when I call him, I say, you remember we talked about that multi-point inspection this morning? I've got some results if you got a few minutes. That's my segue.
So thanks for taking my call. Do you have a few minutes to go over that multi-point inspection that we discussed earlier? What do you think about that, Tim?
Looks good. Yeah.
All right. My certified technician. Okay. What do you want to? All right. So let me delete this. All right. Mr. Smith, thanks for taking my call. Do you have a few minutes to go over that multi-point inspection that we discussed earlier? And do you want to say while Brian is working on your vehicle? What do you think, Tim?
That sounds good. Yeah.
Working on your vehicle. Okay. So let me talk to you about the next part, and then I'll go over my stuff. So I have great news. You got 72,000 miles on your F-150 and it's in really good condition. Okay. I like thanking them for coming in. Thanks for bringing all this into me. It really does. It's important to me. That's not in the script, but that's something else that I'd like to say. I like to reference the mileage, and I also like to reference how many points are on the multi-point inspection, because it makes it sound really thorough. Okay, so my standard speech, Tim, I got great news. Vehicle has 72,000 miles on it, and Brian graded it on 27 items of green, yellow, and red. I do like to mention green, yellow, red. It's the grading standard. That's what I like to do. But like, how do you talk about your multi-point? I mean, and if you were in quick lane, you went over a ton of them. So
Yeah.
like, how do you like, what's your intro sentence? What do you like to say?
So I'll usually go over like the green stuff that turned out just fine, if there's no issues or concerns.
Yep.
You know,
And
like-
I'm gonna do that with this next sentence. But here, let me delete this and delete that. So do me a favor, Tim. Read this first sentence and then just naturally flow how you would flow. So
Okay,
here's your
Mr. Smith. Okay.
Yep.
Mr. Smith, thanks for taking my call. Do you have a few minutes to go over that multi-point inspection that we discussed earlier while Brian is working on your vehicle?
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, I've got some great news. Your vehicle has 72,000 miles, and Brian graded your vehicle on 27 items of green, yellow, and red.
Okay.
I'll go over the green items first.
So give me the two green items that you like going over first. And well, here, let me take it off the screen. Do you go over a bunch of them? Do you go over two? Like, what's your current style?
I'll usually go over like I guess anything that would be more of like a safety concern, like either brakes, suspension issues.
Yeah.
You know, if they're, if
All right.
those are green, like, hey, suspension's looking great, nothing's loose, everything looks
right.
good.
All right,
Brakes are
hold
in
on. Let
great
me get
shape.
your suspension. Suspension is looking great. No cause for concern. Is that what you said? No cause for concern? Or
Yeah, no cause for concern. Brakes are looking-
and your brakes are looking good.
Yep.
All right. All right. Now, I like to segue to, however, your certified technician did find one item of concern in the red. I mentioned again that they're certified. It's a cause. It's an item of concern. It's not a problem. It's not an issue. It's not anything bad or broken. That's how I like to say it. In the red is a general thing that I say a lot. That's how do you start? How do you introduce that? I do have a little bit of bad news. Like, what's your way of segueing from good to bad?
So usually, like I said, I'll go over the green stuff. Talk about the safety issues if there's anything there. Once I'm done with that, I'll go. We did find some other things that we would like to take care of sooner rather than later. Whether it be maybe tires are going bad.
Hold on,
something
we're gonna
like
get to that in just a second. He did find some other items that need to be taken care of sooner rather than later. Is that what you like?
Correct. Yep.
All right. So, and just indulge me here. Let's start from the top. Go ahead, Mr. Smith. Go ahead.
Mr. Smith, thanks for taking my call. Do you have a few minutes to go over that multi-point inspection that we discussed earlier while Brian is working on your vehicle?
I do. What's up, dude?
Well, I've got some great news. Your vehicle has 72,000 miles, and Brian graded your vehicle on 27 items of green, yellow, and red.
Cool.
Brian, our certified technician, he's the one working on your vehicle. Suspension is looking great. No cause for concern, and your brakes are looking great, good as well. No issues there. He did find some other items though that need to be taken care of sooner rather than later.
What do you think so far? You like it?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, now watch. Any cause for concern. So you say few items. If there's three, there's one item. If it's one, sharing with me this one item. Okay. So I have a little word track that I like.
Okay.
Let me go over it with you. Okay. Based on time, mileage, and condition of the vehicle, he recommends in this sentence, a coolant exchange. Based on time, mileage, condition of the vehicle, he recommends that you replace your shocks. Based on time, mileage, condition of your vehicle, he recommends that we change your engine and cabin air filter. The reason that I like saying based on time, mileage, and condition of the vehicle is it's the fastest way that I found that we can offer maintenance like menu items and stuff that doesn't pass or that is, broken, but I don't like saying broken. So I say condition of the vehicle. So like if he said, and I say I don't mean to be sexist. If you have lady techs, I apologize. But if you're certified technician, Brian, if he says that you need an engine air filter and a cabin air filter, how do you like saying that? I say like based on time, mileage, condition of your vehicle. What do you say?
And that's what I usually go by as well, because obviously certain items you want to do every so often. Us, cabin air and alignment, we recommend every 15,000.
Yeah, so y'all do use mileage, so that's good. Yeah, so this is this shouldn't be anything, and I'm bolding all of your speech for you. So based on time, mileage, condition of the vehicle, he recommends a coolant fluid exchange. Is that fine with you? Do you want me to make any changes in this sentence?
That sounds good. That looks good. Yeah.
All right. So we're going to back up one more time. How about you just read these top 3 sentences? We'll start there.
All right. Suspension is looking great. No cause for concern, and your brakes are looking good. He did find some other items that need to be taken care of sooner rather than later. Based on the time, mileage, and condition of the vehicle, he recommends a coolant fluid exchange.
All right, let's stop right there. Okay, so this is a good speech, and you're using a real good flow with it. In a minute, we'll do brake jobs, filter replacements, and then whatever you want to choose. And we'll do a piggyback sale too before we bounce. Okay, so almost everybody that comes into a dealership, when there's something broken on their vehicle and you say it needs to be replaced, they don't ask many questions. They know if their car won't go and you say it's because of the ghillie switch, and if we change the ghillie switch, it's going to run. They're just like, okay. However, when we start presenting maintenance items to questions or to customers, that's when the questions begin to rise. Like, what is that? Why would I do that? I never did that in the past. People really start questioning you. So what I like to do is I like to garner how much knowledge a customer has right out of the gate. So I like asking folks, do you know what a coolant exchange does? Do you know what replacing your cabin and air filters do? Do you know what replacing your spark plugs will accomplish? I like cutting directly to the chase because there's only 2 responses and they're both good. Watch what I mean. So Tim, do you know what changing your spark plugs will do?
It'll make the vehicle run better.
Great, then you know how important it is. Yeah. They're $618. We can have that done by 3 o'clock. All I need is your authorization. Now watch, same question to you, but give me the opposite response.
Okay.
Tim, do you know what replacing your spark plugs will do for you today?
No, sir, I don't.
Okay, what we want to do is get rid of all your old worn out spark plugs and replace them with brand new ones. This is going to help your vehicle run better and last longer. So that, along with your O2 sensor replacement, will bring your total investment to $868.58. We can have it done by 3. All I need is your authorization. See, if somebody knows what you're presenting them, then you can just say, great, then you know how important it is. If they don't know, normally it's out with the old, in with the new. We're taking off your old brake pads, we're replacing them with brand new. We're taking out your old spark plugs, we're replacing them with brand new. We're taking out your old cabin air filter and engine air filter and replacing them with brand new. You see how it's going? So
yep.
Let me share my screen and see if there's any other way that you would like to say this. So based on time, mileage, condition of the vehicle, he recommends a coolant fluid exchange. Oh, and I forgot to ask you this, Tim. Do you call them flushes or do you call them fluid exchanges?
We just call them flushes.
Yeah, I would rather you not use that word. Again, it's in a different class, but flush to me has a negative connotation. When most people think of the word flush, they think of the toilet. Yeah. And I don't like my stuff being caught up in the toilet.
We call it the F word.
There we go, the F word. That's my man Tom. And this is serious business. When I think of the word flush, I think of a poker hand. And doing a fluid exchange is not a gamble, it's an investment. I
Yeah.
encourage you to take that word and flush it down the toilet and try to use fluid exchange. But let me go back to my screen. Okay. So Tim, based on time, mileage, and condition of the vehicle, Brian recommends that we do a coolant exchange. Do you happen to know what that fluid exchange does? How do you want to say that?
I mean, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, I mean, that
Okay.
sounds good. Yeah. Do you know what the fluid exchange does? Yeah.
All right. So let me bold it. And then
Hey, can I
remember,
give a suggestion?
yeah, hey, yeah. What you got, bro?
Are you familiar with a coolant exchange and how it works?
That's another one. Are you familiar with it?
Yeah. We've sold, yeah, I've sold quite a few over the time.
Oh, no, dog. I'm saying that's what you could say to the customer. So,
Oh,
what
gotcha.
you do- yeah, we could say, do you know what a fluid exchange does? Or do you know, say that again, Tom?
Are you familiar with a coolant exchange and what it does?
Yeah. Are you familiar? Which one? It's up to you, Tim. What you want to write down?
Yeah, I like the one that Tom said. Yeah, that's a good way to say it. Yeah.
Are you familiar? And I'm a writer, but I'm no speller, as you guys can see, with what a coolant or what this fluid exchange does, what this fluid exchange does. And the only reason that I'm not writing coolant is because I'd like a sentence that we could say with all of it. And
Yeah.
watch this. Watch how cool this is, Tim. Are you familiar with what changing your engine and air filters do? Are you familiar with what a spark plug replacement entails? Are you familiar with our 4-wheel alignment? Are you familiar with our 60K tune-up? You see how we did that there?
Yeah.
It works for anything. And that's what I want it to do. Because the more you start saying the same things over and over and over again, the more confident you're going to become. The more confident you become, the more the customer is going to pick up on your confidence. And when they do, they're going to buy more. And sure as heck, when they start buying more, you're going to gain more confidence. And that's what I call my success cycle, doing the same thing over and over and over and getting better and better and better results. What do you think so far?
Good.
All right, let's go back to the screen. All right, so remember, if they say yes, great, then you know how important it is. Let me go through the psychology of this. If a customer knows what you're presenting them, you shouldn't go into detail about it because it comes off rather confrontational. Watch this. Say yes for me. Do you know what a 4-wheel alignment does?
Yes, sir.
Well, let me tell you what I think it does. Like, you would never do that.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? You would just say, okay, cool. So my little sentence with saying, okay, cool, is great. Then you know how important it is. And then I go for the close. So let's practice and see what you say.
Yeah.
Ask me if I know, here, let me get your screen back up. Okay, ask me if I'm familiar with your 4-wheel alignment. Ask me.
Sir, are you familiar with our 4-wheel alignment?
I don't think so, no.
Okay, would you like me to tell you about it?
Okay, I was curious to see what you say. Okay, we'll go over that in a second. I'm going to say yes this time. Ask me again.
Are you familiar with our 4-wheel alignment?
Yeah, I've done one last year.
Great, perfect. So you know what it entails then.
All right, great, period, perfect. Then you know what it entails. And then, all right. Cool. Now remember, if I say no to most things, it's getting rid of all your old broken down blank, because it could be anything. It could be coolant, it could be brake fluid, it could be anything. So you're broken down blank and replacing it with a brand new blank. All right. Now, here's another positive one before we go over the no response. This is going to help with the performance of the unit, and it helps avoid costly repair and breakdown. When I came up with it's going to help with the performance of the unit, it was a way to say if you're doing a power steering fluid exchange, it's going to help with the power steering unit. If you do a brake fluid exchange, it's going to help with your brake system. If you change your cabin air filter, it's going to help with that unit. So I just say it's going to help with the performance of the unit. It's going to help with the performance of the vehicle. I really like performance as a buzzword, but I can tell you, Tim, I'm going to already put it in your speech because you've said it 3 times. I'm going to put safety. When it does help the safety of the vehicle, it seems like you really want to say that. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go back over the yes and no again. Ask me if I know what a brake fluid exchange does.
So you know what a brake fluids exchange
Oh yeah,
does?
no. And what was yours? Hold on, let me pull it back because that's my word.
Oh,
Are you familiar
with? Yeah. Are you familiar with
Yeah.
what a brake fluid exchange does?
No. What are y'all doing?
So what we do is we just take out the old fluid that's in the brake system, put in some fresh new fluid, helps with the performance of the vehicle, so you don't have issues later on down the road.
Okay. So what we're doing is how'd you say it? You said just. I don't want to say just because just makes it seems like it's not important. What we are doing is taking, and what, how'd you put it? Taking out the old
Taking out the old fluid, putting in new fluid.
Taking out the old fluid and putting in new fluid. All right. And that's gonna do what?
Help with your performance of the braking.
Of the vehicle. Yep.
Yeah.
Of the vehicle. That's what you said.
Yep.
And how'd you put, and it's gonna help what? You said something about like money.
It's gonna help what did I say?
Yeah.
It's gonna help
Here, let's do it again naturally. Just ask me if I know what a brake fluid and exchange entails.
So you know what
or am I familiar with?
Are you familiar with what a brake fluid exchange does, sir?
I don't think so. No. What are y'all doing?
What we're doing is taking out the old fluid and putting in new fluid. That's going to help with the performance and safety of the vehicle, and helps with any further issues any bigger issues down the road.
Helps avoid any. What was that?
Any bigger issues down the road.
Bigger issues. Yeah, I like that. Bigger issues down the road. Awesome. All right. Now close me. How would you say it? So for this instance, it was going to be that along with your O2 sensor. O2 sensor will bring your total investment today to $385.96. We can have it completed by 3. All I need is your authorization. What's your normal close? How do you close, folks?
I'll scroll up just a little bit. So along with that O2 sensor and that brake fluid exchange, that'll bring your total investment to $385.96. And we can have that completed by 3 o'clock this afternoon. All I need is your authorization.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds good to me. Is that good with you?
Yeah.
All right. So let me do this. I almost messed up here. All right. Let's go back to the top. And we'll make, what do you, replace, how do I misspell everything, dude? I'm a terrible speller. All right. Let me go like this. All right. So call me on the phone. My O2 sensor is being worked on, and pitch me an engine air filter and a cabin air filter with these O2 sensors. Okay. Or this O2 sensor. You got it?
Okay. Hey, we'll write that down real quick. Air cabin filter.
Yep.
Along with O2 sensors. All right.
Yep. All right. You ready?
Yeah. Thanks for taking my call. Do you have a few minutes?
Hey, I do, man. What's going on?
Hey, if you got a few minutes, let's go. I'm going to go over that multi-point inspection that we discussed earlier while Brian's working on your vehicle here.
Okay.
I have great news. Your vehicle has 72,000 miles, and our certified tech, Brian, is grading your vehicle on 27 items of green, yellow, and red.
Yes, sir.
The suspension is looking great. No cause for concern. Your brakes are looking good as well. He did find some other items that need to be taken care of sooner rather than later.
Okay.
So based on the time, mileage, and the condition of your vehicle, we're recommending a air and cabin filter along with that O2 sensor replacement. Looks like they're getting kind of dirty. Usually we recommend replacing those every 15,000 miles. Looks like it's been a while since you've replaced them. Are you familiar with those the cabin air filter?
Yeah. I mean, I've done those. It probably has been a while since we did it.
Okay. Are we okay to replace those with that O2 sensor today?
Don't do it. Okay. So instead, say this.
Oh, great.
Say that
Perfect.
first.
Then you know what it entails.
Now close me.
Okay. That along with your O2 sensor will bring your total investment to $385.96 today. And we can have that completed by 3 o'clock this afternoon. All I need is your authorization.
See what I mean? Don't stop in the middle and say, hey, do you want me to do this, and get off script? Because I could just say no, and there's no really good comeback. Okay. So stick to it now. Let me pull this back up, and this doesn't involve you. So let me delete it. All right. Now, man, why do people say no? Let's talk about it. Why do people say no when you offer them stuff? They know it's good for their vehicle. They trust you. They're coming in and speaking to you about it. But what are some of the reasons why people say no?
A lot on the small stuff like the air cabin filter, wiper blades. People like to do those themselves. They prefer. I find out.
One of the reason, or one of my overcoming objections on that is this. Hey, look, obviously you could save on a little labor by doing it yourself, but we have certified technicians that do it to make sure that we're doing it properly. That's one. Two, are you buying the part from us? If they say, no, I'm just going to get it at O'Reilly's, we're not putting in the same part either. And these are made specifically for yours. So when someone says that they can do it themselves, I want to build value into my team. What do you normally say?
If someone objects, I just, if they want to do it themselves, I tell them I understand. I said, but we can have it done, fairly easy, very quickly.
Okay, convenience. No, man, I did convenience. Convenience is a good one. Yeah, I don't mind that. Here, let me make this smaller. And in a little bit, I'm gonna get your email, and I'm gonna mail this to you, or email this to you. All right, what's another reason why people say no?
Maybe the cost, maybe they don't have the money for it today.
That's a good one. Let's put down money. All right, I'm gonna go first. Money equals value. This one's huge for me. When somebody says they don't have the money, I think they're saying that this stuff I'm offering them is not valuable. Here's just an off the wall, wild analogy, but it's true. If I shared with you that I have the car of your dreams available to purchase, and that it was $5 million, are you likely to buy it?
No.
No. What if I said it was $5?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I take that all day long.
No shit. So at $5 million, it ain't that valuable, dog. But at $5, I'll do it. So when somebody says that they don't have the money, I'm just not building value. The way I like to build value is, again, this is a different class, but why people come to you in the first place, the Ford logo, certified technicians, Dewey, and your team. So I want to come back with why doing it at least one of those things is a big deal. So let me just go over value in what we're doing. We have Motorcraft parts, and O'Reilly's doesn't. Value in what you're doing. If something goes wrong, Dewey has the name in town, and we're not running. My certified technicians are perfectly trained, and you trust me. So dealership or OEM, dealership name, certified technician, your teammates, and you. That's how I like to build value. How do you like to build value?
I mean, yeah, parts. I mean, being Motorcraft for sure, and obviously our Ford certified techs, and just convenience, and it's easy. I know people say I know wiper blades can kind of be a pain to do every once in a while.
Yeah,
so I feel like that's a lot easier to sell because people don't want to deal with it, especially during the winter. So So it's a lot easier to do the wiper blades in the air and cabin. Obviously, cabin's a little bit more difficult to do than the air filter. I know air
Yes.
filter is pretty easy to get to.
I don't know how to spell convenience. How do you spell convenience? No. I'm just going to send it to you misspelled. I apologize. So money, we're going to come back with convenience as well. And I can't spell it for my life. Anyway, okay, cool. Do you ever use ounce of prevention beats a pound of cure? You ever use that?
No.
All right, let me share with you what that means. That's old people talk. Okay, make this a little smaller. Okay. Let's go over a big one first. Brake job. How do you build value into doing a brake job at your place? All those things that we said are true. OEM part, certified technician, you trust, convenience. However, another way to build value is trying to build a sense of urgency, and that's going to come up in another one. Why is it valuable to do a brake job today instead of 7 months in the future?
Brakes could go bad.
So what's that? I don't care.
Could ruin the rotors, have bigger issues.
Those bigger issues. So an ounce of that costs more. So an ounce of prevention, we're trying to prevent all those things, beats a pound of cure, spending all that money later. So pay me a little now, pay me a little later was a commercial from the 80s. But articulating to the customer that if they fail to act today, that it could cost them in the future. So that's how I like to build value when people say money. How about time? What do you say when people say they ain't got time for that?
We always try and offer a shuttle service. So they're not having to wait around.
Love it. Yep.
Or see if they can't bring it in another day within the next couple of days to be able to drop it off if it works better for them.
Appointment in the future, like it. Cool. Anything else?
I would say offer a loaner vehicle, but we don't have loaners anymore. So.
Yeah, no doubt. I was about to say, if you do, I'm gonna come to Iowa and get some cars because ain't nobody got it. I'm gonna also write down sense of urgency. When somebody shares with me that they don't have time, I want to make it urgent today. And one of my word tracks, and I'll write it on here for you if you want to use it later, is by taking advantage of this today. By taking advantage of this today, you get the best parts at the best time, the most convenience. By taking advantage of this today, you allow your vehicle to not, get into an urgent stage by not getting into the red, by taking advantage of this today. Also up here on objections, I'm going to share with you a really good quote that I have. I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't share with you. One of the ways that I like starting off overcoming the objections is by saying, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't share with you this. By taking advantage of this today, you get this, it's convenient. By taking advantage of this today with the certified technicians, you get this. I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't share with you that this brake job is important, that this was important. I wouldn't be doing my job if. Very good word track to segue into overcoming objections. What other objections do you hear?
Mitch?
Oh, Tom, you scared me, dog. What's up?
Hey, you like safety? A great one for that would be, if I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't share with you. By doing it today, you save yourself a trip back, and your car will be nice and safe for the long haul.
Save a trip, make it safe for the long haul. I like it. Yeah, Tim, I can tell the more you're going to use safe, the more comfortable you're going to be. Work that in as much as you can. Oh, yeah. Why else people say no to you? Any other objections? How about that's not in my owner's manual? Do you ever get that? No, Ford says something different. Any of that?
No, never had that one before.
Okay. What other objections do you get? Anything else that we need to write down?
Nothing I can think of.
Okay. Let's go back to this. All right. So Let's go to the very beginning again. All right. I'm gonna read through it. Make sure that you like it, and then we'll do one more, and then we'll wrap up.
Okay.
Mr. Smith, thanks for taking my call. Do you have a few minutes to go over that multi-point inspection that we discussed earlier while Brian is working on your vehicle? I say, yeah. Awesome, man. I have great news. Your vehicle has 72,000 miles, and our certified technician, Brian, graded your vehicle on 27 different items using that green, yellow, red standard. Your suspension looks great, no cause for concern, and your brakes are looking good. He did find some other items that need to be taken care of sooner than later. Based on time, mileage, and condition of the vehicle, he recommends a coolant fluid exchange. Are you familiar with what that coolant fluid exchange does? No. Well, what we're doing is getting rid of all that old fluid and putting in the new fluid. This is going to help with the performance and safety of your vehicle, and it helps avoiding any bigger issues down the road. So I need to change this to any. That, along with your O2 sensor, will bring your total investment today to $385.96, and we can have everything completed by 3 o'clock. All I need is your authorization. Tim, I got to share with you, dog. That's a good speech.
Thank you.
That's a good speech. I feel if you use that day in, day out, it's going to be solid. Anything in there while I said it that you want to change up?
No, it looks really good. I like it.
Cool. All right. So let's go through some challenge. Oh, let me get your email address real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready.
T Schnell, SCHNELL @DeweyFord.com.
Awesome, man. I'm going to mail this speech to you. And
Okay.
along with on the first few pages are some exercises that you can do if we do any more of this together. It's kind of overlaps some classes and stuff. Okay, here's the challenge for you, man. We got to get your Rex up. And I don't even know you, but just talking to you earlier, when I shared with you how likely is an O2 sensor going to lead to, hey, based on time and mileage, you need a diff service. We got to start looking for those things. And
Yeah.
again, it's not really your job to get recommendations up, but I always share with folks that I never want another man to dictate my check. So
Yeah.
I definitely want to make sure that we're covering all of the stuff. I love, if I want to give you a digital hug, use text to drive as much as you can to close people on their concern. Make sure they know before they leave. And I'm going to put it in these word tracks on this previous page. Make sure you share with them that they are able to say yes to the recommendation. Okay. Don't say yes or no. Like, I don't want to bring up that they can decline it. I only want to bring up that they can say yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So make sure we do that and try to close everybody on their cause for concern. Then give it about a third of the job wait time, and then call them back with this speech. And dude, I really believe if you get Rex and you use that speech, you're going to be successful.
Thank you.
Tom, what do you think before we let our man from Iowa bolt? What do you think?
I think he's got a heck of a speech there. The only thing I'd say is, practice it. The difference between sounding like it's canned and sounding like it's natural is the number of times you've done it. You listen to Mitch, and when it comes off of his lips, it just flows. It's because he's done it a couple of times. So go home and practice on your wife, practice on your dog, your pillows, whatever you got to do, but practice.
Absolutely. Good advice.
That's awesome. Frank, do you have anything? Okay, maybe Frank is gone. Cool. Keith, boss man, got anything? That's it. Tim, I'm going to email you this in a few minutes. I greatly appreciate you taking the time. Hopefully. Oh, yep. Hey, Frank, how's it going, bud?
Good. Hey, Tim, thanks a lot, buddy, for joining this class today. We appreciate your time. It shows that your service manager is also looking into your future, which is a great thing, because the more training you have, the better you are and the better you succeed in what you're trying to do. So thanks a lot for your time. Hey, Mitch, when we're done, can you stay on the line real quick? I just wanted to go over something with you.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you, sir.
Tim, man, thanks so much for coming in, and I hope you have a great day. If you get stuck on anything, just shoot me an email back, okay? But I'm going to email you all this in about 10 minutes.
All right. Sounds good. Appreciate it, Mitch, and everybody.
See you later, man. Have a good day.
You too.
Peace.
Okay, you there?
Yeah, how's it going, dude?
Did he log off already?
Yeah, everybody's gone.
Okay, perfect. No, hey, thanks a lot. I know it was just one. Here's the bad
I don't
thing. I
care
had 10
about that.
people signed up.
Oh yeah, it's okay though. I don't mind, man.
but
I really don't.
But the irony of this whole thing is you have service managers that are bitching to our corporate office saying our guys are not selling, they're not doing a good job. And I'm thinking, what investment do you put in them at all?
Yeah, it's
We're expecting
unfortunate.
these guys to sell, yet they don't know how to sell. And they're
Nope.
not going to know how to sell unless somebody puts time into it and lets them do the job and lets them practice. So, you know what? If this guy can pick up stuff that's going to help him out, one is better than nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I
I do.
appreciate you doing your job. You always do it the same way. You do it with enthusiasm. So thank you, boss. I appreciate you. Okay.
No worries, man. Have a good one, and I hope y'all's month ends strong.
Sounds a lot. Hey, thanks a lot, Mitch. Take care.
Peace.